So, welcome back, everyone. After that basic introduction about the groundwater budgeting and various components of recharge and various components of extraction, now let us get to see the water budgeting tool that we have developed. I'll be briefly introducing the various features of this water budgeting tool, and later tomorrow on the second day of this training program we will go much more deeper into every small aspect of this tool. First thing is that, as you can see, this is an Excel based groundwater budgeting tool. It has primarily, there are four sheets in this. One is an introductory sheet, second thing is an extraction sheet, third is the recharge sheet, fourth, which is a results sheet, which means it displays the results. There are only four sheets are there in this Excel workbook. The first sheet about is it gives various details of this tool. On the top, it has the name of the tool and also uh, what is the basis of it, who developed it. These details are already displayed. The tool follows the Groundwater Estimation Committee latest report, which came in 2015, and the detailed guidelines of for the same, they have come in 2017. And below that, there is a description of the methodology used in the tool. It starts with the basic conventions adopted. So various conventions, assumptions associated with this methodology and this water budget, groundwater budgeting are narrated here. It says that a hydrological year is taken as June to May, which is the standard. So for any place, irrespective of whether your monsoon season is a southwest monsoon or a north east monsoon, it doesn't matter. But hydrological year is the same, so June to May. And it says that groundwater extraction and recharge are budgeted for unconfined aquifers only. So this is what we have to clearly note. As we discussed in the basics, the unconfined aquifers receive recharge from the rainfall directly, and then they are replenished by the various components of recharge. Unlike confined aquifer much more expansive. They're spread out on much larger areas. They receive recharge from somewhere else, and there is a huge amount of water flowing in the confined aquifers. And so this methodology doesn't apply to confined aquifers. Whatever we are doing is for unconfined aquifers only. So, like that, it has listed out what are the major conventions and assumptions. And then it comes to the calculations of extraction from groundwater, sheet number two. Related to sheet number two, two is about all that extraction components. So, how these things are done, it is narrated here. And then the third one is about calculation of recharge to groundwater. So, all the recharge related calculations are done on the sheet number three. As we discussed, there are six components of recharge, and so it narrates how these components are calculated, where from these basic the the assumptions, the formulas, and then the some certain coefficients values are taken, and then it refers to the GEC 2015 guidelines, and sometimes it also gives you the page number of so and so page number. These calculations, these factors are taken like that. And here is a listing of, for example, a table, and for different kinds of aquifer formations, the specific yield values are listed here. All these are taken from the GEC report. So you can also refer to the GEC directly, the report, or take these values that are required from these tables and then fill them, and then all the rest of the calculations are done by these Excel sheets. Finally, there is a presentation of results sheet. That means the sheet number four, and then it says that it is categorization of hydrological unit is entirely based on the state of the state of groundwater development, as long-term water table data is seldom available. In fact, the recommendation is that a particular area or a unit, hydrological unit, has to be classified based on the long-term data related to not only stage of groundwater development, extraction, and recharge, but over a period of time. But then, because it is not available to us, we are doing only for a particular year. The classification is given here for the year that is under study. So it presents the major things, and then the extraction related calculations. If you see on the top, there are some basic details that are to be filled. Here, the white color cells are all the cells that are open for users to fill, and the rest of the area, which is colored in the light brown or any other color, is not accessible. It is all these cells are locked. So only area where you can enter data is these white colored ones. So after giving the basic details like year of budgeting, the state and the place and names, there are primarily there are two methods of calculating the extraction. One is the unit draft method. The small table is here for different four different purposes as we discussed. So there are four different extraction components: industrial, domestic, irrigation, domestic, industrial, and others. So these four can be quantified using unit draft method, or it can be all these four can be quantified uh, using the cropping pattern method, particularly the irrigation use. I'll explain more here like this. Let us first look at the table below. Now we are talking about irrigation water estimation, extraction estimation. So first take the bore wells, and then it takes a cropping pattern of the bore wells. We have to fill number of total number of functional bore wells. Let us say there are 38, and you have only taken five of these bore wells as a sample in the monsoon season. Similarly, in the non-monsoon season, also you have taken five, the same five. You have to take the cropping pattern of these five wells and then fill the data here. For different crops given on the left side, you have to fill the total area of that particular crop. For example, there is a castor 2 acres or 2.4 acres. There's a green gram of 6 acres. There is some maize in 1.4 acres, let us say. And of course, some vegetables in 3 acres. There's a paddy 40 acres. Let it be like that. A total area of 52.8 acres we have filled up. That means this data is related to these sample wells. So I have filled up the cropping pattern. So directly this is multiplied by the water requirement which is already there. And then you will get water consumption, how much water is consumed. This kind of cropping pattern has to be filled up for the monsoon and the non-monsoon season. Even within the monsoon season, there is a possibility of entering under direct irrigation, also under micro irrigation, because micro irrigation requires less amount of water. The water requirements are lower than water requirements here. After this, again cropping pattern for the open wells. Take some sample wells and then fill the cropping pattern of that. So with all this, you can estimate the groundwater used for irrigation from the bore wells, open wells. So total irrigation usage is this much, and to that you can add what is the drinking water requirement, what is the industrial requirement, and all that quantified and put here. It takes that becomes the extraction side of the groundwater budgeting. Then, when we go to the sheet number three, sheet number three is entirely about recharging, various components of the recharge. Here, it begins with something total area or the watershed village or the unit under study. These data are compulsory. You have to enter this data. Without this area and without this, also in the below the normal rainfall and actual rainfall, the further calculations cannot be done because it is linked to many other calculations. So this data has to be filled, and then there are different tables. The first table is the rainfall recharge using infiltration factor method. This is the direct rainfall from the direct recharge from the rainfall that we talked about, the first recharge component. So here you have to choose some geological formation, and then that means you choose an infiltration factor for that. So once you enter the area here, and you get the calculations. And please note that this all these tables or calculations are done for the normal rainfall, because the GEC guidelines as well as the norms, various other norms suggest that we have to do budgeting, groundwater budgeting for the normal rainfall, so that the planning, the future planning for that any of the interventions related to groundwater management have to be done with the long-term perspective in mind. So we have to take long period average rainfalls, and but here along with that, we have also done rainfall recharge for actual rainfall received during the year. This is an additionality that we added. So you can also see for the actual current year rainfall how much is the recharge, and compared to the normal rainfalls also. And similarly, there are other tables like there is something recharge from irrigation water. This is the return flow from groundwater component. This is the recharge from the tanks and ponds. Recharge to, this is something new, that table I want to talk about. The recharge due to shafts and borewells. This particular feature is not there in the GEC, but we added it because many people are now constructing borewell recharge structures, and so that provision is also now included here. There is a recharge from water conservation structures. There is a recharge from canals. This is the canal seepage component that we already discussed. And then there is water table fluctuation method, the rainfall recharge. So this is, we will be talking much more detail also. There are two methods of calculating rainfall recharge. One is the infiltration factor method that we did here in this table, the T7. At the same time, it is also possible to do it using the water level fluctuations. And so we did applied both the methods, and then there is a particular system of comparing these two, and then finally arriving at the actual amount of rainfall recharge from the rainfall. So that we will elaborate it tomorrow. But for now, here we have finally accumulated this data under monsoon and non-monsoon heads. The total recharge from the normal rainfall, this means the direct recharge from the rainfall, and then sum of all the other recharge components. That means the other five components. So together becomes the total recharge to the groundwater. This is how calculations are done. So in a way, the extraction and then recharge, these two sheets will capture everything that is given in the 300 and plus pages of the detailed guidelines of the GEC 2015. All those methods, calculations are incorporated just in two sheets and then presented here. You need not enter anything on the first sheet. You need not enter anything on the sheet 4. Only thing, data is given in the sheet 2 and sheet 3. So on the sheet 4 now, it is all the results that are calculations done, and then you have results presented for monsoon season, and below that there is a non-monsoon season, and then finally for annually the whole year it is displayed. See, for example, for the monsoon season, it calculates the recharge to groundwater against the actual rainfall. Recharge to the groundwater, if you take normal rainfall, both are presented here. And then on the extraction side, extraction from the groundwater, also extraction from the groundwater using unit draft method. So this method uses the cropping pattern method, and then adds the industrial use, adds the domestic uses, and then calculates the extraction. But this one, the second unit draft method, takes the unit draft of a well used for say irrigation. There are 38 irrigation wells. Each well will take out about 10,000 liters per hour. Let us say, for example. Then the unit draft of that well is 10,000 liters per hour, and multiplied by number of hours of pumping per day into number of days of well usage in the agriculture season. That's how things are multiplied, and so you calculate the use for irrigation, use for industries, use for domestic purposes. So this is a different method. So all the two methods are now listed here, and then the same things are also displayed in a simple bar chart. Similarly, for non-monsoon, also you get these values. And when it comes to the annual groundwater budget, there is an extra thing is added here. Apart from the four, two annual recharge and two annual extraction values, there is a safe extraction which is the 70% of the normalized recharge. That means the recharge, when you consider normal rainfall, that 70% of that is considered as the safe. So you can safely extract 70% of the recharge. But if you exceed that 70%, that means you are entering into a danger zone. You are extracting more and more groundwater, and you are in your uh, uh, about to start the over exploitation, and in future you're going to enter into the more difficult problems. That is what it indicates. So the 70% is the benchmark that also is included now here, and then it is also included in the graph. Further to that, we have finally calculated the stage of groundwater development, which I already explained that it is the ratio of the extraction to the recharge as expressed as a percentage. So here it is 100 into annual extraction divided by annual recharge, because our the standards, the norms prescribe that you have to take the normalized recharge only for these calculations. So here it is normalized recharge is taken, and extraction is taken primarily from the cropping pattern method. Cropping pattern based irrigation extractions plus industrial and other extractions are added here, and then so this is the ratio that is now. This is only just for illustration data. It is not any real data is there. It shows if it is coming now to, let us say it's 150%. That means you are extracting more than 50% more than the normalized recharge taking place annually in that particular area. That's how these things are categorized. And finally, there is a categorization picture here. It is given safe, semi-critical, critical, over exploitation. If it is more than 100%, that means you can categorize it as this basin, this particular area, this watershed is over exploited. That's how the calculations are done, and that's all about the this Excel based tool. And we'll discuss much more in detail about each and every table, and how these calculations are done, what is there behind these, just these cells you are filling data and it is doing some calculations, what are the formulas used, how it is done. So that part we will definitely discuss tomorrow. So thank you very much. We will meet again tomorrow.